We are live, posting it on the Discord. Let me copy the link. That was strange. YouTube wanted like a third step authentication, so don't know why. Just had to like essentially close out OBS and reopen it. But hello everybody, and welcome to the METATAILOR live stream. We are at our new time. We're gonna give it a couple minutes for people to jump in and join us. All right, making sure I have all my files, got everything pulled up and ready to go. Like I said, we're giving it a couple minutes. Today, we are celebrating The Devil Wears Prada 2, coming to theaters tomorrow. First movie, fantastic. I am excited for the second movie. So we're gonna do some high fashion. Some Vogue-inspired looks. Give it another minute or so before we jump into it. Talk about our new time, talk about our sweepstakes, talk about all the things we got going on. Lots of fun stuff we have. Fabled third step authentication. Despicable. I know, right? Hello, Liam. Welcome to the live stream. First time caller, long time listener. All right, it's about 12:04. Let's go ahead and jump into it, and we will get started. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the METATAILOR live stream. Today, like I said at the start, we are doing a Devil Wears Prada live stream because we have Devil Wears Prada 2 coming out tomorrow, or midnight tonight, I guess. Fantastic movie. At least the first one was a fan favorite, and I can't wait till the new one comes out. So, inspired by that, inspired by this release, we'll be dressing some characters in some new high fashion outfits. So that is what we'll be tackling today. On to some of the business of METATAILOR. Always make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. A lot of you are watching right now. 50% of you are watching right now, and you are not subscribed. Why not? Hit that notification bell, subscribe, join us if you like more videos like this one. We're running a weekly live stream every single week, and for the month of May and potentially the future, we're gonna be aiming for this noon time slot. Depending on the analytics and stuff, we might shift it to 1 p.m. or 11 a.m. Just kind of like I said, deciding on when you guys are landing and watching, we might be adjusting it. But this 12 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time is going to be our new time frame for the next 3 weeks. So keep an eye on that. And the best way to get updates for that is on our Discord channel. I'll be sharing the link to the Discord in the chat here in a moment. Make sure you join our Discord. That's where we have all the updates, all the information. On top of that, inside of our Discord, every now and then we will run polls where we ask your opinions, and those polls affect what we do. Those polls affect how we adjust for METATAILOR and stuff like that. One of those polls was, what video game should we play, and where do you guys want to see it? And so in the evening, sometimes I hop on and I play Cyberpunk 2077 on this METATAILOR channel for some research purposes. And we're going to be revealing what that research is on that live stream very soon. So join those live streams, come play the games with me and see that information. But those are off the cuff. Those happen randomly when I have time. So the best way I inform people that they're about to start is over Discord. We have some big updates coming down the pipeline. I can't talk too much about it. Some things are coming. So make sure you're on our Discord. That's where we'll be notifying people of those updates of what's happening at METATAILOR, the state of METATAILOR and stuff like that, as well as our Instagram channel. That's another great place to get that information. So make sure you join us there. But the biggest thing happening on our Discord right now is we are running our last sweepstakes for this month of, this is the April one. It's going to trickle into May a little bit, but the April sweepstakes, you can get a free year, a whole year of METATAILOR Pro by joining our sweepstakes and following the prompts and everything you need to do to put in your entries. And with that, you get a chance of getting METATAILOR for a year for free. The pro version of METATAILOR. The bridge, the exports, the tools, all of it. You get that for free if you win the sweepstakes. Now, like I said, this is going to be the last sweepstakes for a while. We're going to take a pause. The next one will probably be sometime in the summer. And the best way to get another chance at that is to, once again, follow us on Discord, and I'll let you know when that next sweepstakes is. That's pretty much it for updates. Let's go ahead and jump into it and take a look at some of the stuff I've got ready for us that we're going to bring into METATAILOR. And then if we have time, I opened up Unreal. We're going to try to send some of this over to Unreal. All right. Hi, Shane. Awesome. Amazing. All right, so let's go ahead and click on studio mode here. Make sure I look pretty on all my desktops. There we go. And shrink my head down. Transition. So, all right, here we are. We are inside of METATAILOR. Last week, we messed with Sabrina Carpenter. It was a lot of fun. We had Kung Fu Carpenter or Krav Maga Carpenter right here, but today we're gonna be serious. We're gonna do some high fashion. Some of the pieces I grabbed today, everything I grabbed today was off of Fab. So everything you've seen me working on, I pulled off of Fab. You can use it as well, and pretty much all of it came pretty easy. I didn't have to do much exporting or work in Maya to get it ready to go. I'll explain it as we go, but we're gonna call this Miranda, and let's go ahead and get it dressed. All right, let's go ahead and hit import and bring in our first piece of clothing. I'm not going to do the ruffle dress. I tested it because that's very high poly. But I've got this really nice sweatshirt dress that has an underdress and an over sweater. This one was from Sketchfab. Oh, it was from Sketchfab. I said everything was from Fab. It might have still been from Fab and just cross-posted, Sketchfab cross-posted over to fab.com in the fab.com marketplace. Hang on one second where my head is right in the way of the toolbar. There we go. Ah! A little bit farther. OBS does not land. There we go. Perfect. Cool, so we've got the dress right here. Let's go ahead and add some of its textures to it. So very simple, very nice. I saw this piece, I'm like, yes, that's something that somebody would wear to a fashion show. A normal map. Do we have an ambient occlusion? No, we had roughness, height, and metallic. There's nothing in the metallic map, so I won't even add that, but I'll add a roughness map. All right, so there's this first piece of dress. It has a nice sweater that goes over it. So I'm just going to call this, I guess, yellow dress. And so because this is a behind-the-scenes style themed live stream, we're just focusing on how we can get stuff in the pipeline. So today I'm just bringing in multiple outfits. What's really neat is the first two outfits I bring in are just really nice outfits, walking you through the import process and how that looks and how I'd get this on a character. But the second set of outfits, I've got four or five dresses with interchangeable parts, and I wanted to flip those around and see how those look and kind of really build a small wardrobe, a thematic wardrobe around these 5 dresses that I have. But lots of dresses today. I think it's all dresses. So we're going to call this a dress. Where's my dress? There's my dress. A little bit big. Let's try our source dimensions. Probably way too big or way too small. So let's go ahead and hit next step and bring this down to size. I'll go ahead and scale it down. Oops, wrong one. Scale it down. Bring it up. Aiming for my shoulders and neck. The golden spot right there to make sure it fits our character nicely. Amazing. Bring it back just a little. My mouse is not trickling back. There we go. There we go. Nice. I'm going to leave it like that. You can see it sticking out in some areas. This is a little bit more than the 60% I call for. Usually I say keep it to about 60%, but this one... Sorry, I was just making sure those chats were not pertaining to the stream. They're not. So this one I'm going a little bit more than that 60%, and I'm going to let it do its work because this was built for a different model. It should work just fine. I don't need to do a pose match because it's sleeveless. Everything should work a-okay, but let's see how this looks and see if METATAILOR can't wrap it around our model. Oh, it did a perfect job. That was my hope. So I kept it tight. I kept it close to the body and had it sticking out in more areas so I wouldn't have to go back in and use that shrink wrap tool specifically right around the shoulders. I wanted those shoulders to sit a little bit closer to our form, and that worked perfectly. That's exactly how I wanted it to work. If I wanted to, I could still take that global shrink wrap up a little bit and bring that down a little bit tighter across the waist, under the arms. If I wanted to get this even closer to the arm, this is pretty close. And like anything closer than this, I'm gonna have to go in and start really pushing and pulling and adding a shrink wrap brush, but you could still go in there and push that a little bit farther. All right, let's go ahead and grab the top part of this, cloth and accessory. And the over sweater. So this part I thought was really neat, was the over the top sweater. In the fab picture, it had holes in it. I don't know if it will be that luxurious. I don't think we'll get the... Oh, it does have the alpha channels. Amazing. That's what I thought was really cool about this and really kind of brought that idea of fashion, some more modern fashion to this. So that's why I went with this one, and it did bring that alpha channel over. Add the normal map. Add our roughness. And overall, this was just a really nice piece. And part of me just wanted this. Call this our holy sweater, our papal sweater. Next step. And I'll call this one, I could call this one a shirt. I don't want to call it a jacket. I'll call this one a shirt and hit next step. Now this one we will have to pose match. This is supposed to be a bigger sweater. So while I would normally say aim for the neck and shoulders, that's a little bit different on this one. I'll make it a little bit smaller, but otherwise I do want this hanging off a little bit. And we'll see if we can't build that into our pose. This is actually much more asymmetrical than I mean, I knew it was asymmetrical and looked really cool, but it's gonna take a little bit of work from us to get this. I don't wanna rotate it at all to get the body to match. We're gonna have to do some asymmetrical posing on this, but that looks pretty good. Let's run with that and hit confirm, and we'll start our pose match. Peeking at our chat. Hey, B-Rad! B-Rad, is this a better time zone for you? You're here all the time. Okay, so let's go ahead and start right off the bat. Let's start with, well, no, let's keep the mirror on and let's get our elbows into place because the elbows are the same. It's the shoulders where I want to kind of work on the shoulder a little bit and see if I can't get that posed a little bit better. So I know this is probably not as conducive for our friends who are in India and Pakistan and Iran who have been watching the live streams with us late at night, but I wanted to see if this is better for maybe some of our East Coasters. Maybe some of our UK folks. It's still early evening for them. There we go. Just aiming on this wrist right here, trying to find that. There it is. There's that sweet spot. All right, let's go ahead and pull the elbow forward and up a little bit and over a little bit. That looks good. All right, that all looks good. Our sides look good. I could pull the waist forward a little bit like that. But this shoulder right here is what I'm going to want to try to adjust. And maybe I'll keep the mirror on and just bring them both in a little bit. Maybe that's just it. Maybe she just has narrower shoulders on this character. That looks good. Let's go ahead and take the head up a tiny bit. Let's hit preview pose wrap. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. Let's give it a run. Let's see how it does. Next step. All right, that looks fantastic. Look at that. Perfect outfit. That was so quick. I'm going to retake these thumbnails right here. Nice. And retake the thumbnail so those exist in there. And that looks really good. If I wanted to, I could flip this over to an avatar. I always like to throw it on the orc because he's so big, just to show off how amazing METATAILOR is. Get him fashionable. Look at that. Takes a little bit of thickness to kind of clean up those sleeves because his biceps are just too huge. They say that about me too. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back down to, ooh, let's do the little Dobby character. Let's flip it all the way down. Give us a little fashionable Dobby. I'm California, so it's early morning. Oh, so you're still, yeah, it's still 10 a.m. That makes sense. Because when we're going to our shows and stuff, you see, it was a possibility we could cross paths. So his arm is a little bit off, but hey, that went on that character really well. But the main thing I wanted to look at with this is I wanted to find one of our, that's a Daz female. I was trying to find one of our metahumans, and I want to see how well it works across one of our metahumans. Because this was not designed for metahuman. This was like, it's off of Sketchfab. Somebody just used their own female model and posed this. It's probably honestly, it's probably a model out of something like Clo 3D or Marvelous Designer. That's been nicely retopologized, would be my guess, but there we go. It works perfect on a metahuman. And I can send this over to Unreal. I'm gonna quick save this as an assembly, call this fashion dress confirm, and I'm gonna throw these in here. Hit save. Hit save. Let's get some hair on this character. Let's go back to all, I got the side part. That'll work nicely. That's the first one that popped up. Amazing. All right, so there's one outfit. Let's go ahead and clear this for now. And let's go ahead and import another one. Now, fair warning, this next one is the high poly one because I want to end on the 5 or so dresses that are interchangeable and bring those in and kind of look at how the belt or the arm pieces, the bracelets, and the necklaces work going across and really show some of the concepting that you can do inside of METATAILOR by being able to switch these 5 things out really quickly across the characters or multiple characters. But this next dress, it has popped up on Fab multiple times. Every week I'm looking for new stuff. When I was looking for Sabrina Carpenter, it popped up. When I was looking for survival stuff, it popped up. I don't know what tags it has on Fab that this dress keeps popping up, but every time I saw it, I'm like, oh, that's a really cool dress. But the problem is it's a crazy dress. It is this ruffled dress that I have right here. Ruffled dress. And open that up. And the problem is it is about 200,000 polys, if not more, unless I read that number wrong. So it's a really high poly dress. I did run a small test on it earlier, and it looked like it was going to go fine, but there's always a risk of us crashing when we get to this part. So I'm gonna go to our textures, and I'm gonna do our skirt. There we go, that works well. Let's add the normal map on top of that. A little extra to it. Let's add our roughness. It's got some transparency to it. We don't have alpha mats yet. Could be because something coming in the future. Let's add some metalness to it. And that's all this one has. And I can dial that metallic up. I can dial that up. And a nice, glossy, really high fashion dress. It had a second material. I don't think there's anything on here for me. I'll add it just in case. I'll add that color just in case, but I'm not seeing that affecting anything. So what was my other fear about this is the top works well. The top works very well. Maybe that's a little too shiny. I'm going to dial that down a little bit. Oh, I'm on the wrong material. That's why. Like it didn't do anything. Dial that down just a little bit. Is there like a... There we go. There we go. Like a nice satin finish. So my like the top works well, but my fear is down here at the bottom. We have all of these ruffles. Now I've never tried something like this on METATAILOR, so I wanted to see how well something with lots of layers, lots of ruffles, lots of folds would work inside of METATAILOR. And will it just work? My little slogan, it just works. Let's give it a shot. So let's go ahead and hit next step. We're gonna call this a dress. There's dress. And if we apply source dimensions, it's gargantuan. So we're gonna just hit next step. And this is the big polys. All right, let's go ahead and move this up. Move this back. Scale it up like 3%. There we go. That fits nicely. That fits nicely. So it's fitting nicely around the hips, fitting nicely around the waist. Confirm. We don't have to move the arms at all if we don't want to. I might shift them a little bit just because I don't want them to have any influence over the dress at all. And now I know probably what I'm doing would not affect that in any way, shape, or form, but it's my paranoia. I'm going to bring our feet down below the dress. Bring them in a little bit closer. Bring this side in a little bit like that. Have it nice and tight. There we go. So I don't want these arms affecting the dress in any way, shape, or form. So let's just make sure that's only on the body. And to do that, I'm going to put it into a little T-pose right here. Bring these arms up and away. Take my strong hand. All right, bring that out a little bit. Bring that out a little bit. No, I don't want to bring my shoulders up. All right. I'm not going to hit preview pose wrap. I want to. Every fiber of my being wants to hit that preview pose wrap because I always double check it before I go. But because this is high poly, I'm just going to cross my fingers and pray to the METATAILOR gods. I don't know what that looks like. We're going to have our artist draw us the METATAILOR gods. I'm going to pray to the METATAILOR gods that it just works. Because if I do a preview pose rep, it's just going to add more time. If I was sitting here alone at my home, not without a time frame, I would probably still give it a test and see and risk the crash. But for you guys, we're just going to pray. Love that's your super high poly item. A lot of my designs are very fold heavy. That's awesome, Brad. Yeah, I've been sitting on this one. I'm like, what's the best stream to show off this dress? And Showing off folds is always in my list. The problem is you never know how well it's actually going to work. You're always running a little bit of a risk. All right, it's tailoring, it's going. There it goes. My stream's lagging a little bit as it processes all this, as it tries its hardest. Ooh, I should have cleared the hair out first because now it's trying to go around the hair. It's not doing a bad job. Let's slip it right there. See how long it takes to tailor, change by change. Still tweaking, still thinking. That's fine. All right. That applied very well. Went around the hips just fine. Comes down here. Those folds look like they are working nicely. I'm going to hit save because I am afraid. I'm always afraid. I'm terrified. I'm a very scared person. I don't do well on roller coasters, but I'm going to do... Let's start with a simple idle. That's moving okay. Let's take that to the female walking. I mean, for not having physics, that's doing okay. And what if we take it to the catwalk? Big poses, big leg movements, that's doing okay as well. That did a really good job. I can go to my avatars. I can transfer this over. This is on a metahuman. Let's put this on, let's put it on Sabrina. This is a Mixamo rig. It used to be a UEFN rig. This is a Mixamo rig. Let's see how well it does. Character pulled from Fortnite. Cross our fingers. Let's not crash it. I see my FPS is dropping. I'm asking METATAILOR to do a lot. It worked perfectly. I mean, it's a high poly piece. It chugs a little bit, but it's working perfectly. METATAILOR blows me away every single day. How well it works, how it just simply works. And a piece like this definitely is the same poly count you'll get out of something like Marvelous Designer. So it just shows that this is perfect in a Marvelous Designer pipeline, in a Clo 3D pipeline, anything like that. It works wonderfully. Which, by the way, self-plug, we're going to be dropping a new video on our YouTube in 2 hours, a little less than 2 hours, talking about the Clo 3D pipeline. I did a video walking a piece through the Clo 3D pipeline. We've talked about it on the live stream a little bit, how there was a fantastic artist, Dress Code 3D, gave me a piece, and I took that Clo 3D piece and I brought it into Unreal, showing that pipeline. But look at that. That worked great. All right, let's go ahead and clear our ruffle dress. Let's bring it back to a avatar. Let's bring it back to this Bernice avatar. This is this is a metahuman. I like Bernice because they don't have the tank top with the shoulder straps. They still have their underwear on, but they don't have the tank top with the shoulder straps. I cannot show the avatars from Character Creator 4 and 5 because they're too anatomically correct for YouTube. YouTube gets a little sensitive about that stuff. But now let's bring in the other dresses. So these other dresses, they were on Fab. They were a list of 4 or 5 dresses called Egyptian dresses. And like I was looking, like the big thing was here, it's like, what could we see going down the runway? What could we see in a fashion show? What is some higher fashion? And these Egyptian dresses, even though they're labeled as Egyptian dresses, they really look like some of the high fashion pieces you see at during the Fashion Week in Italy, stuff that you'd see at the Met Gala, stuff you'd see on the red carpet. So I really like these dresses, even though they have a period theme to them. I don't think they're necessarily, I think they're really timeless outfits. So this FBX here is the all dresses. It came in as a blender file. And so I had to, no, it came in as a GLB file. The ruffle dress came in as a blender file. This one came in as a GLB file, which METATAILOR can handle, but it was all 5 dresses. So I needed to just split them off into their own dresses. But not only that, I also split them off into their own accessories, which I could have done in METATAILOR, but just to make it clean and simple, I brought it into Maya. I did not do anything else. I think I combined 1 or 2 pieces here, but these were really nice models, really clean models, good topology. So all I had to do was export them out as FBXs, and here and there I would combine like the top half and the bottom half of a dress. So let's start with dress number 1 and bring that in. And there it is. Let's go ahead and grab the textures for this one. Textures. Dress. Ooh, they named it that as well. Dress number 1. Oh, this is called dress 4. So my numbering is not their numbering because I just numbered it based off vibes. Dress 4 metallic. Here, let's make my life easier. Let's do this. I'm going to grab my, I did not double check the textures. So we're gonna clean these textures up together. New folder. We'll call it beads. And so this is literally what I do before stream sometimes. New folder, call it belt. And then I'll grab all of these belt ones right here and just drop it right into there. Next one, new folder, call it beads. Or no, not beads, bracelet. I was looking at the one that's called bracelet. And grab all of these 4 right here are the bracelet. Grab the brooch. Grab brooch 1, brooch 2, that's fine. Lots of stuff. A chain. All right, then we're gonna skip the default material because I don't know where you go, but we're gonna go to dress 1 and grab all our dress 1 base colors right there, bang. Then dress 2. Grab all our dress 2 base colors right there. Oh, plus 1 more. I missed you. There you go. Grab dress 3. That way we're not sitting here twiddling our thumbs trying to hunt all this stuff down when I go to import these. Dress 4. Lots on the dress 4. Oof, dress 4 is the biggest one. Of course I start with the biggest one. Then we got necklace, couple of necklaces, scarabs, the soles of the shoes. So let's do folder necklace. And last one I'll do is shoe. And I'll leave the other ones kind of floating there because I don't know where those go. There we go. Back to METATAILOR. All right, so now we got dress 4, neck, skirt, top, belt, right, left. Let's go ahead and do it. Color, textures, dress 4 base color. For the neck, which is what we're at. Boom, there's the neck base color. Dress 4 neck normal, there we go. Dress 4 metallic, skirt roughness. Dress 4 neck roughness. I don't know what the pink roughness is, but we'll run with this roughness. And that's for the neck. All right, let's grab the skirt color. Dress 4 skirt base color. Dress 4 skirt normal map. Dress 4 skirt roughness. Dress 4 top. I mean, I could do the belt. That belt is not... There's right, left. Oh, there is a belt here. Dress 4 belt base color. I think this is actually... Oh, it is there. Very nice. Awesome. Belt 4 normal. Belt 4... No, that's it. Top right. Top left, let's just do color and normal map. Strange that it's different. Oh, because it's not. I just clicked the wrong one. There it goes. All right, so there's that dress. Like I said, really nice dress. This one has a little bit more of that theme to it, but still, I like the cutout. Ooh, not apply source dimensions. That's where it was existing over there. That's fine. All right, bring that up. Bring that over. Bring that down. But you could always go in and change those colors. If you just wanted it to be white like we had it, that's definitely an option. Scale it down maybe just a little bit. There we go. Let's run with it. Let's do it. Next step. Give it a run. Take our shrink wrap, bring that in a little tighter right around there. We can take our shrink wrap brush and push it around the top here. Really push that in. Match it to this character specifically. Hit confirm. There we go. That looks pretty good. So there's our first piece. Let's go ahead and hit import, cloth and accessories. Did dress 4 come with any accessory? Or this was dress 1. Dress 1 did not come with any accessories. There are shoes. Let's go ahead and bring the shoes in because all of them have the same pair of shoes. Just easy sandals. And what was interesting about these sandals is they have like the flip-flop strap in the middle. And I was interested to see how METATAILOR would handle that. Another METATAILOR first. A lot of METATAILOR firsts today. Stuff that I hadn't tried before, stuff that I'm like, that'd be interesting to see. How well does it do if it's supposed to clip through the foot? And this might take some of our layer masking tool. Confirm, next step. All right, because it's trying to go around that. So bring you down a little bit like that. Hit confirm. Bring you down like that. And let's take our layer masking tool, Sculpt Original, bring the size of that down, and just focus like right there. Then come to the bottom, take our strength way down. I want the toes to match right there. I just want to focus on that spot. And let's go back to high strength, lower radius. Let's focus right around here around the top. Do I need to get underneath? No, good. It's just one-sided. Let's focus on right there. And let's hit confirm and see how that does. All right, so that kind of worked. Actually, that worked very well. I would say that was a success. I can bring the whole thing forward a little bit to match that a little bit better. And hit confirm. That worked. Layer masking. Super powerful. Shrink wrap that just to get it to wrap around the sides of the foot a little closer. Like that, and then I can mirror that over. I'm going to save just in case. And mirror. There we go. Let's go ahead and get a different dress on our character. Import, cloth and accessories. Egyptian outfits. Let's do dress number 2, which dress number 2 comes with a belt. So just an elegant one-armed dress right here. I don't know the terms. This is where I start to get a little lost. This is considered dress 3 by the textures, and it's a plain white dress. We'll add the normal map. We'll add the roughness map. We can add the metallic map. But what would also be cool, I mean, it's got this like neat thread kind of come over here. It's got this nice texture to it. I feel like it's breaking down there in the normal map though. That feels like a Blender issue, like Blender exporting out the textures wrong. But But what would also be cool is if we wanted to, we could like take this, and if we want to make this like a black dress, I could probably just take that roughness map and I can make that a black dress. I kind of like that. Let's do a black dress. Let's hit next step. I don't even need the texture. I could have taken the just the hue and dialed that down to black. The hue and the value and dialed that down to black. The roughness map I thought maybe might have some grayscale on there, which could be neat. It doesn't, but hey, I'll run with it. Dress. Don't want to keep our source dimensions. I have not looked at the chat. Nice Sandler. She's wearing the Jesus 3000. Jesus 3000s. I've got you asymmetrical one strap halter dress. There you go, Brad. I need to hire just a fashion guru, because my fashion is a collared shirt and nice shoes. I almost dragged out my nice shoes, but you guys can't see my feet. That would be a whole different stream. That's that's on a different streaming platform if you wanted to see our feet. It's just simple click. Look at how easy that was. This dress did not have a model. It was not made for this model. I just hit next step, like even a little bit too fast on my own, and it worked. The only thing like maybe is this layer right here I didn't account for. I probably could have brought the legs in a little bit closer. I might actually quick try that. Redo pose match. Bring our legs in a little closer. Hit knees and elbows. Bring our knees in a little closer. Bring our feet in a little closer. Just trying to get that foot part right there underneath that. And maybe bring you down a little bit. 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 There we go. Hit confirm. It spaced that out a little bit farther than I wanted to. Made the very thin like line of the dress, the silhouette of the dress, made it a little bit wider than I'm happy with. So I could come back in here with my shrink wrap tool, or even my lattice tool. I know how much Shane loves how much I use the lattice tool. I don't use it too much. It's the perfect tool. And I just saw somebody on LinkedIn using the lattice tool in Unity for their animations. So other people use it. I'm not alone. But if I want to fix this silhouette, if I want to fix this shape, because I really like the original shape, this is how I would tackle that. I want it to be a little bit of a sweep. I don't want it to come all the way out like that. I think that looks better. And then the rest, I'd take my shrink wrap brush, Sculpt Original, nice big brush just on the sides here. Nice big brush coming down the sides here. Around the hips, down here, down here. There we go. Hit confirm. That looks nice. Great dress. It's got our sandals. This one, like I said, came with a belt, so let's go ahead and grab that belt. Dress 2 came with belt 2. Belt bead base beats Battlestar Galactica. Belt. Belt base color. No, this would be belt bead. There we go. Belt bead 2. Do you exist under there? I think so. We'll just double check. I think they're interchangeable. I don't think they have anything. It says it's high poly, probably because it's huge. It's probably the same issue as with our fedora from our last stream last Saturday, where every single bead has like 30 polys on it. Right there at the middle, just this mid-waist belt. There we go, confirm, next step, let's leave it. Lattice is hands down my favorite tools. I saw lattice tool the guy made for the Unity also. Very nice. And let it tailor, let it do its work, let it do its magic. I know English well. It's high poly, so it's taking a second to read that. I'm gonna flip out the dress underneath, so probably run a little bit slow again. But this belt piece, this looks really nice. I could see myself reusing this piece. All right, let's go back to that original dress. Apply. Underneath the belt, clear this one out, and let's see how that looks. It might look a little strange because it's got the gold built-in belt with this belt on top of it, but this is some of the stuff I wanted to show off. I could also go in and change the colors of this. I can clear out the gold and just have that be white. Let's do that as it's thinking. Let's come down here. Neck, top belt, clear it. There. That one doesn't work. But hey, I was able to concept this in like 2 minutes, pulling in both dresses, seeing if this belt works across dresses. I didn't have to redraw anything. I didn't have to resculpt anything. This is one of the powers of METATAILOR, is just being able to conceptualize things super quickly and be like, all right, does this character work? Can I reuse this belt? I can't. And just being able to find that out. So that was dress 1. Dress 2, let's pull in dress 3. Very nice, similar dress, but this one has the brooch or the brooch at the top. This is considered dress 1. This was our center dress. Textures, dress 1. Base colors didn't change. Normal map didn't change it. We got roughness and metallic, but we'll just leave it at that. But it does have the brooch. Let's go up to our brooch. Brooch. I call it a brooch. All right, so this one has, let's do material a 1. That'll probably be, it's going to be you. Ooh, it is you. This really cool scarab look to it. All right, that's really cool. I'm going to leave you. That's pretty much it. That's the whole dress. Let's hit next step. Called her dress. Can I keep source dimensions on this one? Nope, you were over there. I thought you were the center one. Pull you up. So this is the downside of white on the white model. It's hard to see where things land, but this looks like it's working just fine. Same issue with the feet. Is this just this overlapping cloth? So I want to start my pose match and just kind of pull this foot in, pull this foot back, pull this foot in, pull the toes back, pull the feet in a little bit more. Pull the toes in a little bit, pull the feet down a little bit, and just try to avoid that overlapping fabric right there. Confirm, next step, let's let it run. This one feels very Roman, minus the scarab at the top, but I can throw this belt back on there. And then it's just add a new element, add a new element, add a new element. I have like 15 years worth of avatar clothing assets I've made, jackets, dresses, jeans, shorts, skirts, etc. I really should look into getting them in the METATAILOR marketplace. Absolutely, Brad. You can absolutely do that. And we could talk to you about if you wanted to sell them or stuff like that. That is always an option for our artists. We love to hear from you. Actually, belt, I can't believe it. Actual belt. I get it. It took me a second. Yeah, it's an actual belt. I'm putting a belt in the belt. This is the lawful good belt. We're working on a lawful good belt in my chart. But yeah, for anybody, we have artists on there. One of our great artists that I'm going to be showing off on our Instagram here in the next couple weeks or so is Sade or Sadie. They have a lot of stuff they've created. We've used their stuff on stream before. I have it in my library, but they just uploaded a whole bunch of new content. We're still in the process of getting like the last couple of batches loaded. Excuse me, hiccup, loaded. But once that's there, we're going to post an Instagram post, giving them a shout out. So we have an artist that doesn't work for METATAILOR that posts their stuff on there. So if you want to be an artist and post your stuff, you're more than welcome to. There is this Become a Seller button down here in the marketplace. You could submit that. Or for you, Brad, you can reach out to me over Discord and we could talk about what that looks like and what we would need from you, because we have had some dialogue in the past. So absolutely feel free to reach out. Anybody can reach out to me. Where's Sadie? Did they change their... Let's go to artists. And you get your little page, you get Sadie. Maybe the new stuff hasn't been published yet. But I do know we're working on a whole bunch of new stuff. Yeah, Sadie is one of our artists, and they've got a whole bunch of stuff coming down the pipeline. Awesome. Go back to design. Look at our dress. Look at that. And a whole nother piece. This feels like it's part of the 300. This feels like something... Like it's a really Roman Grecian piece, and I really like it, especially like this teal color. It's a little bit Egyptian, but it's striking me as some of the jewelry I saw in my time in Athens. Yeah, really, really nice dress. All right, clear these two. Bop, bop, bop. And let's pull in our last dress. And then I want to send some of these over to Unreal. I want to find our best. Oh, dress 3 did come with a bracelet and an armlet. Those will both work for dress 4 as well anyway. Those do not affect it in the same way that belt 2 did. All right, so this one was mildly high poly. So this was one of the ones mildly high poly. Same set, same really high fashion, really nice silhouette. Let's go ahead and go to our color. Egyptian outfits, textures. This is considered dress 2. It's, oops, nope, not new folder. It looks like it's all pretty much the same. It does have a brooch as well. It added some texture, and it looks like it, oh nope, there the texture broke down. It does break down at a certain point, so I'll leave that. But let's go to the brooch. It doesn't like that. Let's go. No, oh, so you're scarab as well. Okay. They use the same one. Stone, and then the gold goes around the outside. Is it you, or is it you? Doesn't matter either way. That looks really cool. Next step, call it a dress. It's how I wear my dresses. Next step. Once again, really hard to see. I should have changed the color of this because I could have gone back and changed the hue, but that looks okay. On the underside here, maybe I don't want to scale it down too much. So maybe instead I'll do my preview pose rep, and I'll bring my elbow out a little bit closer and up a little bit more. Bring my hands out a little bit more. Bring it back a little bit. What about our shoulders? Drop our shoulders back a little bit. That looks good. Hips are looking fine. And let's check our feet. That looks good. Our knees, bring our knees in, bring our knees back a little bit, get it in that dress. Confirm. Next step. Let's hit next step. It's got it's high poly, higher poly. This was sitting in a couple 100,000s. Not as high as the ruffle dress, but still pretty high. The top and the bottom were like still all in tries. It was not retopologized. Which with this many folds, it's hard to retopologize that. That's like, I don't know how I would tackle that. Perfect. Perfect dress. All right, let's throw dress 3. Actually, I liked... Well, we'll throw dress 3 back on for now. I'll clear this dress. We'll import... Oh, there goes a minute. See, too fast. There we go. It crashed. One of those instances where I'm moving too fast. I'm hitting buttons before METATAILOR can finish what it's thinking about. Go to... Only me while it loads back up. And create. Amazing. In so much that we did not lose too much and that we're doing okay. We still have dress 4, dress 3, all that stuff. So I can clear out this dress, apply dress 3, and we'll get our 2 jewelry pieces back in here. Import cloth and accessory, Egyptian outfits. It's going to be armlet 3 was a nice one I wanted to see. It's this spiral that goes around the arm. Color, textures. would that count as like the chain? Do you want to call that a chain? No, it's not a chain. Do you want to call that your default texture material? That's fine. That's good enough. Make it shiny. Woo. Next step. So this is a belt. This is going to be our, let's see. So if Lawful Good is actually a belt, this is in the wrong spot. So it's going to bring it down to neutral. I wouldn't say this is an evil spot. Arm, I would say, is neutral. And it's not a belt. So this is like a true neutral belt. Chaotic neutral belt. Chaotic neutral belt feels appropriate. In the fact that this is going to go on the upper arm. The reason why I do this as a belt and not like a shirt is mainly for organization purposes, for lack of a better place to put this. And so what I do for pieces like this is I put them under belt because they wrap around and act like a belt on the arm. Like that. I don't want them to be an accessory because I do want them to deform. I don't want them to be stiff. I don't want them to be rigid. I want them to move with the rig and the body. And so with that, I call it a belt because that's how belts move. If I was to call this an accessory, which technically it is, it would act differently. It would want to be parented to a bone rather than skin weighted. Which for certain pieces, that's what you want. For this one, it's not what I want. Let's do that. Okay, so this one's going to be tough. Let's take a second here. Because I want this... Ooh, it's not reading that right. Okay, what if I did a little bit of a climbing? Like that's parented, right? Okay. What if I take you and... scale you down a little bit and hit confirm. How do you look now? Ooh, it did not like that. Let's hit reset to original. What if I took you and tools, you... Nope, not effects layering. I was thinking, would like a layer mask, shrinking it work? That wouldn't work. Shrink wrap didn't work. I can give it some thickness. I can give it a push-pull. Sculpt layer, because I don't want to sculpt the original. Big, world space, and just kind of like tap. Oh, no. What about full island? Nope. I guess grab tool? How would I get this closer? I mean, like, grab tool will work. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll get the crash lock. Glove. No, because glove insinuates the fingers. Glove wants to start doing the fingers, so it can't be a glove. So that's why belt is my catch-all for these. That's the best I can do, unless Shane has. I mean, I can like when I scaled down. I tried to scale it down a little bit. I can scale it way down, like that, and hit confirm. I was gonna say unless Shane has some, but it wants to push it out a little ways, and now it's just thinner. So unless a shrink wrap should do though, let's try shrink wrap. I tried global shrink wrap. Here, I'll hit reset. I'll leave it there. Tool settings. A global shrink wrap. Started to push it in a weird way. We'll hit reset to original, and we'll take you, and we'll hit shrink wrap again. And you can see it starts to like, and it could just be this mesh. It could just be this mesh that's causing that. If I try the shrink wrap brush, that starts to do it. Full island. But see, it's these guys over here that are having a hard time with it. On the top, it does just fine. On that side, it does just fine. On this side, it does just fine. But like I said, so it's probably just this mesh is weird. And it's not conforming correctly. But even then, after all of that, there's still a little gap. It's, I mean, don't. Shane and I are talking as we're trying to figure this out because this is a weird piece that we've never done before. There is weirdness to it. It's probably the mesh. It's a free mesh off of Fab, so I'm not going to put too much weight into it. But it'll be interesting to see if we can't get that bound. I know we won't be able to displace the arm meat or anything like that with like the piece would actually do. But getting it closer, it seems to be struggling with it. All right, Egyptian outfits. Last piece I have, and then we'll try to create a whole outfit here and send it over, is this bracelet. And the bracelet's in gold, bracelet beads, color, textures, bracelet, gold. Nice. 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 Bracelet beads, let's throw it on there. There it is. All right, next step. Call this a belt in that chaotic evil belt range again. And this I know was on like this part of the character. It almost worked as a bracer in the original design. There we go. Trying to find that sweet spot. There we go. All right, now we can try to scale it down. Confirm, let's run it. All right, that worked a lot better. I can mirror that over. Let's lose the armlet. Let's lose dress 2. Let's go back to our content browser. I like this dress right here. Bring that down below these guys. Content browser. Let's go back to our clothing. Let's type in hair. I like that hair I had before. I mean, that hair will work. That's some high poly hair. Side plate. There we go. That looks nice. What about belts? I like that belt. All clothing. It's higher poly, but we'll send that over to Unreal Engine. This is the wrong avatar for that, so I'll pop over to my avatars. The one I have in this version of Unreal is what I have called as my older female. Not oiled or female. There she is. It's a very similar model, but I want to make sure it goes over perfectly. I'll have to design a new metahuman one of these days. That's inside of this one particular file I always use for the live streams. That's kind of frightening. How the hair is right now. We'll let it rebuild, reskin. There we go. That's just weird texture. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and send this over. Let's go ahead and rip open Unreal. Here's Unreal. We can go to, where are my characters? Where are they hiding? Ooh, did I grab the wrong one? I might have grabbed the wrong one. I grabbed the wrong demo. Epic, open up. It'll take 6 seconds to open that. I meant to grab this one. While that's opening, let's give this a little physics. Let's throw some physics on this bad boy. All right, auto generate. Oh, still tailoring. Applying blend shapes, applying all that stuff. Auto generate, there it is. Manually paint, let's take a look at this. Nice and loose down here. Keeping it firm up top, I think is absolutely fine. Confirm. Let's give it a walk. Ooh, maybe a little too loose because those legs are kicking out. It's clipping through. Top's looking really good. But let's work on the bottom here. Let's manually paint blending. Down the sides, let's give it just like a little, there we go. And maybe this layer right there. There we go. And maybe a little bit right there. That's working, that's working. Just that knee popping out right there. Let's make it a little darker then. That knee's popping really. How can we force that knee to not pop? Where are you causing this issue? Now I want it to be like, it still pops a little, even at full strength like that. So that's not an issue with what we're doing. That's an issue with the model. Very nice. All right. Take it back over. We've got Unreal ready to go. There's our older female right there. Here she is. There we go. There's my camera controls. All right, open up our blueprint. There she is. Delete the METATAILOR clothes out of there. All right, let's get her dressed in the METATAILOR outfit. Unreal Engine, call it dress. I probably could be a lot more descriptive than dress, especially if I'm trying to build a big wardrobe. A big closet, you'll want to create a naming convention system. Export it. Oh, I forgot to hit listening. That's my fault. Receive from METATAILOR. Which, with our new update, you only have to do once. After you hit that button once and kind of activate METATAILOR, then it just is always listening in the background. You don't have to do it over and over again. It's like that meme. Computer, activate METATAILOR. You are now an older woman walking in a dress. Have a good day. Ooh, it took the different color. Why did that take a different color? That's interesting. Because that black is in the color map. It didn't mirror over the foot. It did two weird things there. It did not mirror over the shoe, and it used the wrong color. I wonder if it's pulling the hair, belt beads, to... I mean, one way we can take a look at this is to want to see you. Let's take a look at the reference viewer. Huh. Huh, huh, huh. Double click on the matte font. She made her choice and she chose white. Exactly. It is fighting me. There's a material instance for the dress. It doesn't matter too much for us. Double click. Browse to assets. When I'm usually trying to hunt stuff down, show folder, what I'm doing is I take this to reference, yeah. Because if I take this one to the reference viewer, why can't I see your textures? There's a way I used to do this. I haven't had to do it in a while because METATAILOR just works. So I am slipping on my knowledge. There's the mat. There's the material. Okay. That's what I was looking for. I did not grab... Huh. Ha ha ha. It's just giving it the base METATAILOR material. It did not transfer it over. Strange. It still worked. The dress is still in here. The just material did not do what I expected it to do. I wanted it to be black. But there it is. It's in Unreal and it is animated. Ready to go. The exact dress we just had in there, looking sharp. All right. Close out Unreal. That's it for today's live stream, everybody. Thank you so much. We got to play with it. We got to send it over to Unreal with a single click in the bridge. It worked perfectly except for a weird texture thing that I'm going to dig into and look at and see why that didn't happen. But that is our behind the scenes. The METATAILOR gets, what is it? Devil Wears METATAILOR. That was the title of it. Devil Wears METATAILOR, our runway ready outfits. So that is today's stream. We will see you all next week again, next Thursday, around the same time, 12 p.m. If I decide to change it based on when people watch and stuff like that, I will announce it in the Discord. So I will share that Discord link again in the chat. Share, invite to server, copy link. Drop that right there. So make sure you follow us on Discord. That is where our sweepstakes is, where you could win a year of METATAILOR Pro for free. Actually looks kind of sick floating with the white dress. It does. No, that did look really cool. I missed that chat there a second ago. So yeah, follow us on Discord. Follow us here. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I might stream again later this week and do a little bit more, another Cyberpunk run. We are on to The Heist in Cyberpunk 2077. So I might be running that. But otherwise, I will see you all next Thursday. Enjoy. Go get dressed. See everybody later.